Topic 3-5. This can be referenced in our Holt textbook, Chapter 1, Section 2 on page 14 and 16, and also in Chapter 1, Section 3, page 22 through 23. Also make note if you want to see a wonderful animation of constructions, you can go to this Math is Fun website. You can Google it if you want. Select the geometry and then constructions, and you'll see some animations of how the compass works in forming these different constructions. Okay, if you want to try to do this without watching the video and just going through each one of the points yourself, maybe using the video to check your answers, that's perfectly fine. Kind of see if this is how well this descriptions of directions is written. Using a straight edge and a compass, you're going to learn how to construct certain geometric objects. So you're going to want to go get a ruler, also called a straight edge, and a compass from your teacher. This compass with the metal is a little bit easier to use. You can pull it apart to be able to do the drawings, and you can tighten it using this metal attachment there. Okay, so let's look at the first one. Recall that a line is a part of a line consisting of line segment. Part of a line consisting of two endpoints and all the points in between. Okay, constructing a line segment. Using a straight edge, draw a line and a point on the line and label it point P. So you're going to just draw a line and label it P. Place the compass at point X on a given line and segment. So that's this one right here. Adjust the compass setting so that the pencil is at point Y. So again, I like this metal compass. It'll keep things still. If you need to, tighten it so that it can be exactly where you want it. And then setting, and using the setting, place the compass at point X and again 7. Adjust the compass setting so that the pencil's at point Y. A lot of times I'll even draw it up there. Didn't really say to do that, but you can, just to make sure you've got a good drawing here. Using the setting, place the compass at point P and draw an arc that intersects the line. Notice how I'm holding the compass. I'm not holding the pencil over here. Just hold the pointer, the black pointer, and then make an arc. You can make it as big as you want. You can even make it bigger. Now it says to label that point, put a dot and label it point Q. So the conclusion is, since the compass setting used to construct line PQ is the same as the distance from X to Y, then PQ is equal to XY. Thus, PQ is congruent to line XY. So showing equality and then showing congruency here. Notice the difference. That's an equal sign, and then it shows a congruent sign. Okay, let's look at recalling what a segment bisector. A segment bisector is a point, line, or plane that intersects a segment at its midpoint. Okay, again, these instructions are Basic 1 through 4. Place the compass at point X on the segment provided. Adjust the compass so that its width is greater than half of f of x. Well, if you think about f of x, the halfway mark would be somewhere around there. So you want it a little bit greater, but it doesn't have to be as long as this line here. Okay, so that the compass width is greater. Draw an arc above and below. So I'm drawing one above and one below. Again, notice how I'm just holding on to the pointer and pretty strongly keeping it firmly on this point X. Okay, using the same compass setting, so don't move. You might even want to tighten it, but don't move the pencil. Put the compass at point Y and draw the arc above and below line XY so that they intersect the two arcs previously drawn. Draw the points at the intersection and label them P and Q. So notice how we have a point where they crossed straight up and down. Put it as a point and label it P and this one Q. The conclusion is that point M is the midpoint of XY and PQ is a bisector of XY. Also, XM is equal to MY, and MY is half of XY. Oh, we didn't label point M, sorry. The point M would be right there. And when they say it bisects, you can mark that on your construction. Go ahead and mark that as XM congruent to MY, shown with tick marks, because it bisected, perpendicular bisector. Okay, recall that an angle is a segment, line, or plane that intersects an angle, cutting it into two congruent angles. Let's take a minute, write that definition. An angle can be named by, oops, I just did angle bisector. Shoot, my sheet's out of order. Oh, let's go back. I can probably just correct this. A point, line, or plane. Yeah, I'm sorry, we have to go back. Let's just do this. This one is actually an angle. Sorry if you've done that in pen. An angle is an object formed by two rays sharing the same endpoints. An angle can be named by one or three letters. So now we're going to construct it. And make sure you have that definition and not the one I just wrote. Sorry about that. Okay, so now let's look at constructing an angle. Using a straight edge, draw a ray and label its endpoints. Okay, label its endpoint T. Place the tip of the compass at point P, so that's going to be back up here, on the angle provided, and draw a large arc that intersects both sides of angle P, and draw points at the intersection and label them Q and R. So you want to make sure you adjust it so that you're inside these two lines. So you're going to draw an arc right there, labeling one of them Q and the other one R. Using the same compass setting, again, you don't want to move the pencil. Put the compass at point T and draw a large arc that starts above the ray and intersects the ray. So you can start up here and come down, a large arc. You don't have to make it a complete circle, just a large arc. Adjust the pencil so that it is at tip Q. So go back up here after you've drawn your arc and now measure it so that your compass and pencil, you can either do it from Q marking R, you want to make sure it's the exact same measurement you're marking here, or you could have started your point at R and marked it at Q. You're just making sure that this distance from here to here is the same as this distance from here to here. So then you're going to come back to the intersection and place your point at R and adjust it so the pencil tip is to Q. Okay, without changing the setting, place the compass at point S, S, and draw an arc that intersects the larger one that you drew in step 3. So see, I did not move the pencil when I measured that distance from there to there. Draw the point of an intersection and label it U. So this point is going to be labeled U. Using your straight edge, connect them, showing it to be a line. Now always continue your rays with an arrow, both of these rays. So the conclusion is that the measure of QPR is equal to the measure of UTS, the one we constructed. Thus, if they are equal, then they are also shown to be the measures. You don't put measures when you show them congruency. Oops, QPR is congruent to UTS. Okay, one last one. Construction of an angle bisector. This one is the definition I accidentally wrote the other time. So I'm just going to put that again here. I'm not showing the picture yet. We're going to actually draw the construction. So, recalling a segment bisector is a point, line, or plane that intersects a segment at its midpoint. So we're going to construct a segment bisector by following these 4 directions. Place your compass at point A on the one that they provide for you and draw a large arc that intersects both sides of A. You know, I am really messing up. I may have to start this over. I'm sorry, gave you the wrong definition again. Angle bisector is the one I'd done before. So change that definition. An angle bisector is a segment, line, or plane that intersects an angle, cutting it into 2 congruent angles. We've already done the midpoint. Okay. This is the last one. Okay, put the compass at point A. And draw a large arc that intersects both sides of A. Like so. Draw points of intersection and label them B and C. So we've got the point. We label this one B and this one C. With the compass at point B, draw an arc in the interior of the angle. And when they mean that, if you were to stretch this line out, it could go continue on, and then this line could continue on. So when they say the interior, you're at point B and you want to be on the inside. You don't want to make the arc way out here. You can stretch the pencil out, but tighten it because you want to keep it still. But you're going to make an arc inside where that angle would be. And then put your setting at, keeping the same setting, place the compass at point C and draw an arc that intersects the one you've done in step 2. And then you're going to draw where these two cross. You might want to mark it first and draw from A to that point of intersection a ray. Label this point D. You've now constructed an angle bisector, creating this BAD and DAC equal and also congruent to each other. So by constructing this ray, AD, let's label it with a ray, you have gotten the measure of BAD equal to the measure of DAC, and also the angles of BAD, if shown to be equal, are also congruent to the measure to angle DAC. You use M's to show measures equal, and congruency you don't have to. Okay, again, try to review the Math is Fun website to see the animation of all of these different types of constructions. Good luck.